Hey guys!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Y'all know what it is. It's the Big Skill Podcast. Big in the building.
One on the SKIP. We back again.
Just us two today. So
Yeah, man. It's
you're going to hear the background voice.
It's a lot to going on in the world, period.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, boy, I just want to say, we're not going to get into it because I don't want to touch on it. Because like I told my boys in my group chat, every man is guilty until proven innocent. But at the same time...
And what are you referring to, sir?
Brother Love, Brother Puff Combs, Brother P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy, whatever you want to call him. I hope you wasn't that stupid, bro. With all the money you got, I hope your rich friends is your friends now and they're going to help you out of your situation because at the end of the day, I'm not even saying the shit you did was right or wrong. It's none of my business. But if you're going to do the shit that they said you was doing and you have the audacity and the unmitigated gall to sit up there and record the shit, who... You bad as these youngsters out here popping niggas and recording it on Instagram. Like, we all learned back in the day from a movie called Goodfellas.
Yeah, we did.
You don't talk on the fucking phone and you don't record. That's snitching on yourself, bro. I don't even get into all the allegations, but I just hope you wasn't that stupid. But anyway, this NCAA tournament and everything that's going on is crazy, bro. But I want to start off with, let's talk about our Lakers and this play-in tournament is coming up in about 3 weeks.
Let's talk about them. What you got?
All right. I feel like that either Steph and or LeBron, like Gilbert and them was talking about, may not be in the playoffs. And in order for Steph, put it like this, Steph, KD, and or LeBron may be out of the playoffs because of where they position.
And I think the odd guy that's going to be left out is Steph Curry, and that's just because I think Phoenix they have more firepower than the Warriors. Granted, the Warriors can still score with anybody or whatever, but I think when it comes down to it, I think the Suns have more firepower, and the Lakers all of a sudden are an offensive team. Like, these guys can score now. They can shoot. They since the All-Star break, they've been top 5 offensively. They've been the second best three-point shooting team. They still get to the free throw line more than anybody. The defense has failed the fuck off, but
I think that all boils down to everybody on our squad is realizing, like, okay, LeBron is still that nigga, but it's like a situation I had with my dad when he got about his late 50s when we would be moving shit. I'm like, nah, my nigga, I got it. I'll take the heavy end. You feel me?
Yeah.
They're realizing, like, OG still got it, but we're going to get him to the fourth quarter.
Right.
Let him do his thing.
And that's what I think the Lakers should.
I also believe that Darvin Ham is starting to see, like, okay, D'Lo may be a defensive liability, but this is the most asinine thing I think he did because I think everybody I know that's a Laker fan is down on Darvin Ham.
We are.
I wanna first say that Darvin Ham is a former Laker. You know what I mean? And he earned his right. But putting D'Lo on the bench, that's the dumbest thing you've done, bro. Because he's a starting point guard in today's NBA.
Yeah. I think where Darvin Ham went wrong was you're not going to have everything is not going to be all good every game, right? People go through slumps. It happens. You have a bad week or, a few bad games or whatever. I don't think he should have ever benched D'Angelo Russell. I agree with you on that one. I don't think he should have ever benched Austin Reeves.
When did he do that? I thought he'd been starting the whole season.
No, Austin Reeves got benched at some point in January, I believe. And
wow.
If y'all wonder what I'm looking at, LSU just beat UCLA women's. So LSU to the Elite Eight. Angel Reese and them still going. It was sometime in January where he had Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench because he went with a starting lineup of Jared Vanderbilt, Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, LeBron, and AD, which his reasoning for doing that was we want to lean into our defense, and he feels like those were the 3 best defensive players on the perimeter, and then you can pair that with Anthony Davis, who to me still is the best interior defensive player in the league, the best help defender in the league, the best defender in the league all around, period, to me is Anthony Davis, and he's proven it again this year. but you lost a lot of offense because what teams were doing, which was smart, was when LeBron gets the ball, let's blitz him. When AD gets the ball in the post, we're going to double him.
Mm-hmm.
Torian Prince not going to beat us. Cam Reddish not going to beat us. Jared Vanderbilt not going to beat us because those guys aren't offense-oriented.
No.
They're defense-oriented. So the Lakers weren't scoring, and they weren't shooting well. And then you got 3 of your 5 best players coming off the bench, if you add Rui to that, and it wasn't working. And you only playing them 20-something minutes a game. It wasn't working. So it took a LeBron injury in the game against Utah he didn't get injured in the game, he missed that game, for Darvin Ham to finally say, listen, I got to go with my best guys in the starting lineup. So he went back to D'Lo and Reeves and Rui and AD, and I forget who started that night because LeBron was out, but the lineup that they've had of Rui and LeBron and AD and Reeves and Russell, they come out and they score the ball.
They do.
They come out, they score the ball. Defense is not that great. AD cleans up a lot of their mistakes, but they come out and they score the ball. And it's, last night against the Pacers was an anomaly. They scored 90 points. They just missed shots last night. I don't think the Pacers did anything special. I just think the Lakers missed shots. They lost the game. Whatever. But you got to think the game before that, they put up 136 in Memphis. The game before that, they put up 128 against Milwaukee. You're like, oh, that game went to double overtime. All right, bet that. 2 nights before that, they put up 150 against Indiana in 4 quarters. So this team is scoring the ball. And I'm a defense first guy. I still believe defense wins championships. But I also know that in today's NBA, you also got to score the ball. You got to put points on the board. And the Lakers, they're the best offense I've seen from the Lakers probably since the Kobe and Powell days.
No, I ain't gonna argue with that because we had some dark times.
Yeah, because even Frank Vogel, that championship team was not good offensively, but they were top 3 defensively, and that's how they won off of defense.
So with that, I'm going to say, whoever gets a 7A spot, they're going to get fed to Denver and OKC respectively. So even if we make it to the playoffs, or whoever gets 7 make it to the playoffs, will they survive the first round?
Okay. Phoenix, I don't know if you've been
Actually, I take that back. Who's the first seed? Minnesota or
right
OKC?
Now, I think it's Minnesota because they beat Denver last night.
So Denver's 3?
I think Denver fell back to because Oklahoma City. I think Denver fell back to 3 because OKC won last night.
So
I think,
way.
So right now, Minnesota, OKC,
Denver, Minnesota, and OKC, whoever gets the 7A seed, even the 3rd seed, they're gonna get fed to the Lions.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and debate you on that a little bit. Denver is the team nobody wants to see in the first round.
No.
Unless you're Phoenix. Let me tell you why. Because Phoenix has played them tough this year.
Yeah.
Phoenix has beaten them twice. Now, granted, the first time Phoenix beat them in their building, I think Jamal Murray didn't play. And I know the last game Phoenix beat them, Jamal Murray didn't play. That's a big piece of the Nuggets team that was missing. But Phoenix plays Denver tough. And Phoenix has individual offensive talent, 3 of them, that can score on anybody.
Right. And the difference between Phoenix and Denver series, if they played this year and last year, is they have Bill.
They got Bill. If he can stay healthy.
Also, I want to say, we spoke about this a long shows ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I heard one of the analysts saying this during a game where Denver was playing Phoenix. Nurkic is basically Joker-like.
Yeah, they both play.
They're the same thing.
They were teammates.
It's just Joker is better.
If I'm not mistaken, they were teammates in Denver.
Yeah, and Joker and Nurkic started.
Nurkic started over Jokic, and then Nurkic got traded to Portland, so Jokic could become the starting center.
For Mason Plumlee. Right?
Yeah, for Mason Plumlee. So, yeah, they are alike. I think Jokic is a lot better, but they are alike.
Each other out.
They cancel each other out. And the reason why they cancel each other out is because Nurkic is a physical presence in the middle for the Suns.
Offensive boards.
He get offensive rebounds. He could pass the ball. He gonna get you some points. Like you throw the ball in the post, he'll get you a bucket here and there. So
yeah, he's along the Jacob Poeltl and what's the guy on New Orleans?
Valanciunas.
He's along the Jacob Poeltl, Valanciunas.
He's in that category. Second tier, third tier center. Mm-hmm. But he's a good center. And because he can play Jokic straight up. He don't need help guarding him. It allows the Royce O'Neals of the world to stay at home on the shooter. It allows Kevin Durant to stay at home. It allows Grayson Allen to stay at home. It allows Devin Booker to stay at home. Like, you don't have to double Nurkic if you're the Suns, which is the Lakers' problem, is because they have no one who can guard Nurkic. Anthony Davis, like I said, I think he's the best defensive player in the league. Anthony Davis is not a center. That's what people gotta understand.
I mean,
the Lakers have
do, but in today's small ball league, NBA,
small ball.
You gotta get dirty.
Yeah, small ball league. The Nuggets don't play small ball. Their center is 7 feet tall. Their power forward is
Michael Porter Jr.
is 6'11". Their small forward is 6'10".
9.
6'9" and a half on a bad day. So, you know what I'm saying? KCP is not a small guard. The only really small guard they got on their team is Jamal Murray, and he's their second best offensive player.
6'2", 6'3".
Right.
So I want to touch on something right now. We're going to pause. We're going to come back to this since we was talking about the bottom feeders. I want to talk about this shit because after everything that's been transpired in the last 8 years, from the Nurk situation, kicking people in the balls.
Oh man,
I wanted
to get into that. Into that. So let's go.
What do you think of the next play?
I think it's I don't know who I was watching.
They just signed him, so they can't.
I don't know who I was watching. I think I was watching Kendrick Perkins and Jay Will on First Take yesterday or Thursday, whatever it was. But they posed a question: is it time to break up the Warriors? Or somebody posed a question. I don't know if it was on Get Up or First Take, but somebody said, is it time to break up the Warriors? Is it time to move on from Draymond Green? And yeah, you just gave him that contract, so it's going to be kind of hard, but it's going to be like, when did this shit get old? When does this shit get old, man? Because somebody said something that made sense, and I believe it was Jay Will. I believe it was Jason Williams. I could be wrong, but I heard this. When Draymond Green was doing it before, you let it slide because you were winning championships. Like when he did what he did with LeBron, they lost that championship. They come back and win 2 more, right? He did some other shenanigans. They took some time off, went a little down. Curry was injured. Clay was injured. They came back. They won another championship. So it was like you take the bad with the good because you're winning championships. You got 4 of them in 6 years. Or whatever, 6 tries, 4 in 8 years, 4 and 6 tries. The Warriors ain't winning no championship. This core, Steph, Clay, and Dre ain't winning no more championships. I'm sorry.
You said that 3 years ago.
No, I never said that. I knew if they got healthy, they still make another run. Right now, they ain't winning another championship. This team's not big enough. No Diddy. They not physical enough. None of that. So they not winning another championship. They're not going to be able, like, if I believe if they played the Lakers in a 7-game series, they lose. If they played Denver in a 7-game series, they lose. If they played Phoenix in a 7-game series, they lose. If they played the Clippers in a 7-game series, they lose. If they played Minnesota in a 7-game series, they lose. The only team in the West is the only couple of teams in the West I think they could beat in a 7-game series. I think they could beat Sacramento because they play the same. Like Sacramento is like baby Warriors. And they could beat OKC because OKC don't have, outside of Chet, they don't have size either. Pause. So I think that Golden State
they don't have New Zealand on me.
Who?
Fuck, I forget his name. They don't have Adams no more?
Who don't?
OKC.
Steven Adams?
Yeah.
Steven Adams been long gone from them. He got played for Memphis and then got traded to Houston.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
still ain't seen him in like a year.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
All right, so
he hasn't played since late last year.
This is what I want to say about Draymond, right?
I think the Warriors are done.
This is the first thing I want to say about Draymond before we even get into the antics and bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I want to say he's got to be fucking stupid because you work for Turner too. So,
talking about Draymond Green?
Yeah. So you could fuck up your post-NBA money, your podcast nigga could stop fucking with you as far as your sponsors. TNT can say, you know what, we're trying to groom you to be the next Charles Barkley, but thanks but no thanks.
That's basically what they.
So here's my thing with him. I'm gonna be frank, and I want the people on your podcast, your group chat, my group chat, everyone I know, everyone out there in YouTube land to understand. Draymond Green, the problem with him is he's no different than Jordan Poole. And what I mean by that, I'm going somewhere with this.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Jordan Poole was a player that came from the bottom and rose to the top. And now he's over in Washington. Like Gilbert and them said, he came from structure.
Yeah, he did.
He came from a situation where you're not running no plays. You're just coming in and get your buckets.
Yeah.
So Draymond Green does what he does. Draymond Green was the 6th, 7th man in the rotation. Draymond Green should not even be starting. We shouldn't even be talking about Draymond Green.
Why you say
If David Lee didn't get hurt, he would not have been in the starting lineup. He would not be in the position he's in. It was a point when David Lee was the best player on that team.
Yeah, but
better than Steph, better than Clay, better than Draymond, highest paid player on that team. So I'm going somewhere with this. If it was not for an injury, Draymond Green would not even be in the position he's in.
Let me stop you right there because, yes, he would. I'm going to tell you why. David Lee's not even playing no more.
Yeah, because he was an older player.
That's what I'm saying. He's an older player. At some point, Draymond Green was going to be a starter because they were going to phase David Lee out. You're an older player. We gonna have to
remember the on that team.
I remember
before he got hurt.
In 2015,
David Lee was the man.
2015.
Yeah,
that's how I remember. So I'm telling you, David Lee would have eventually been phased out for Draymond Green.
All right. So to my point, bro, I used to fight it, but everybody was right when they said it. Y'all niggas allow this nigga to do all this bullshit. When on another team, he would be butt. They would expect him to go like he. Couldn't go to no other team and do that because they wouldn't allow it, and he doesn't have the prerequisite scoring acumen. Like, he's a good player as far as what he does, but it's like, shout out to my boy Mike Gino. Sorry for your loss, my boy. Like I told Gino the other day, it's Gino. 5 level scores, 3 level scores. They was talking about this shit on Carmelo's podcast when they was talking about the difference between him and Carmelo and Durant and other players. Fucking Kevin Durant, Draymond Green is not even a 2-level scorer.
Not in the NBA.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
he was
you were a defender.
He was a scorer.
You were an antagonizer. You were the equivalent of like a Oakley or a Mason, my nigga. And
no,
they at least had a jump shot. Your jump shot is broke.
Draymond Green was a scorer in high school.
Your handles is okay. Man, you could bring the ball up the court, but what do you do? What do you and then like it's a difference between a nigga that's a defender, like you like a watered down version of fucking Dennis Rodman, my nigga, without the effort. You do weird shit. What I mean by that is he do weird shit. He kick niggas in the balls. He fuck with niggas and do weird shit.
No.
And this is not the first time he got into it with Steve Kerr. You do realize that, right?
I know that. I hear what you're saying. I wouldn't say he's watered down Dennis Rodman
because
he doesn't give the effort. He does give the effort. The issue with Draymond, I hear what you're saying. I think I'm going to try to word this differently to fit what you're saying. Because I agree with what you're saying. I don't think it's effort with Draymond Green. He gives the effort all the time.
Yeah.
I think he goes too far. That's the difference between...
And the NBA period. In the NBA that we're in?
The NBA
or just period?
The NBA that we're in. Because if he played in Dennis Rodman's era doing all that, he would got his head knocked off. It would be a brawl. He would got his head knocked off. There's no way they would have broke that up. Like, he would have got his head knocked off.
And low-key, I got a sidebar. And low-key, I seen you... What's Jonathan Stewart? That's his name? The cat on Detroit?
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah.
Isaiah Stewart.
That young bull had you spooked. You didn't run up on him. You didn't pull that shit. And when you did that fuck shit to him, and that nigga loped up on you, bro, you didn't want no issues. So... don't pick and choose, my nigga. Don't choke Rudy Gobert. Don't slap fucking Nurkic. But when one of us run up on you, bro, you don't pull that same shit, bro. That make you look real not Flint, Michigan. Really. You done fucked up.
Boy, he's not from Flint. He's from Saginaw.
Hey, my bad. Hey, that make you look real not Michigan at all. You know what I mean? Like, bro.
He's from where Darvin Ham
from. Hey,
both
you know
him
what?
and Darvin Ham from Saginaw, Michigan.
I'm going to get back to you, Draymond, and Jordan Poole later when we get on niggas' heads. Now, let's talk about the tournament a little bit, man. We don't want to leave the people that's college basketball fans out. We got to get into some March Madness.
Like I said last week, I wasn't really paying attention to college basketball this season. I always pay attention when the tournament comes around. Shout out to NC State. NC State got this dude, this center, this
monster
ass motherfucker on their team. And it's a conversation I want to ask you about because it was something that I heard on 710 the other day. I think it was yesterday or Thursday. In college basketball, he dominating. He's just backing you down, and nothing you could do because he's a load. No diddy. And
does he have post moves though, or is it just all power?
I think it's all power.
All right.
I don't think he has any post moves. My question is, does that translate to the NBA?
No,
because in college, you playing against your peers, people your age, men who ain't fully developed their man strength yet. And then when you get to the NBA, you going against goons, grown men. You ain't able to do that against centers in the NBA that are grown men with grown man strength. So
I can name 2 guys recently that was dominant in the post. Actually 3. Dominant in the
college
post.
That translated to the NBA?
No, and it didn't translate to the NBA.
Who?
Jahlil Okafor.
Okay.
Cat Towns. Frank the Tank Kaminsky. They were dominant in the post.
Frank Kaminsky fell so
they were
far
dominant in the
when he
post
got to the NBA,
in college.
man.
But it didn't translate to the NBA.
off.
They became more finesseful players in the NBA.
Especially Karl Anthony Towns. He definitely got finesse when he got to the NBA. Fucking bastard.
I'll say with Jahlil Okafor, he had the post move, but the NBA went to the three-point shot at the time. So, you know what I mean? He had the potential to be like Embiid, but he was a defensive liability as well. Mm-hmm. And Frank Kaminsky, he became Capono or, you know?
I don't know. He just fell off.
He's still in the league, bench player. I don't know whose team he's on right now.
Exactly. Nobody
but that's to my point. A lot of these guys, Greg Oden, a lot of these guys, they be dominant in the college ranks. But when they get to the pros where people got kids to take care of, bills, mortgages.
Greg Oden's problem he couldn't stay healthy. Greg Oden was nice when he was with Portland. I think he would have had a nice career. I think he would have dominated. He just couldn't stay healthy. That's the thing with Greg Oden. He just couldn't stay healthy. DeAndre Ayton is another one. This guy's dominated.
Offensively, he's good. But,
cool.
But I think Ayton is a B+ player. I think what people expect of him to be like, he's like Patrick Ewing, bro.
He's the number 1 overall pick, though. And
yeah, I get it.
You can't be.
He's not a bust, though.
No, I'm not saying he a bust, but you can't be a B+ player. You number 1 overall pick. You got to be at least A-. That'd be at least A-. At least A-. We'll give you a pass at A-.
Well, see, here's my
B+ ain't gonna cut it if you number 1
Ayton
overall.
Will not, even though he was the number 1 pick, and I hear what you're saying, you expect certain results from a number 1 player, but in today's league, he's never going to be the number 1 option.
And that's the problem.
In today's league, it's a guard dominant situation. So if we was maybe in the early millennium or even the 2010s,
I disagree with
he
that.
He's going to get more touches. So he's going to get more chance to shine.
You look at all the players that dominate in the league. Look at the players that
big
dominate
though.
Jokic, big. Embiid, a big. Giannis, a big. AD, a big.
You name 4 players.
I'm not done. Anthony Edwards is a big guard. He's not a little guard. Luka Doncic is a big guard. He's not a little guard. Kawhi Leonard, wing player. LeBron, wing player. KD, wing player.
If you're including 3s in this, then yeah. I'm talking about 4s. Because that's what he plays.
Cool. Greg Oden?
No, we was talking about
DeAndre Ayton, he plays 5. He don't play the 4.
Yeah, I mean 4 or 5.
Okay.
Bigs.
It's not okay, so it's not a lot of dominant 5s in the league. But arguably the 3 best players in the league are bigs.
Okay, look, we're gonna Embiid, Joker. They're the top, right?
There.
Now,
best 2 centers in basketball.
Miami center. Is he better than motherfucking Ayton? No.
Yes.
Defensively, yes.
Yes.
Not offensively.
Yes. Bam Adebayo better than DeAndre Ayton.
Not offensively.
I'll take him over DeAndre Ayton.
Is he a dog?
I'll take him.
He a dog.
I'll take Bam.
But is his jumper better?
I think so.
Is his free throws better?
Yes.
Is his overall ability to score better? No.
Yes.
You put Ayton on Miami Heat, yeah, you're gonna lose some rebounds, but now you got a bucket getter. You got somebody you can throw in the post and can create their own shot.
DeAndre Ayton is not a bucket getter like that, man. I don't know who gassing you about DeAndre Ayton. He's not a bucket getter like that. I'm not saying Bam Adebayo is, but offensively, I would take Bam Adebayo over DeAndre.
So you don't think if Bam Adebayo scored more points, Miami would be better?
I don't worry about Miami in the regular season because we already know what they're going to do come playoff time.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about like Miami. Y'all not fooling nobody. All right, let me put this out there right now. Y'all ain't fooling no fucking body. We know what y'all do in the regular season. Y'all come out and y'all lollygag and bullshit and just good enough to make sure y'all get into the play-in because y'all really don't want to be the 6th seed or higher. And then y'all win both of your playing games or one of your playing games. And then you go on this run in the playoff. Miami, y'all ain't slick. We know what y'all going to do. We know Jimmy Butler is going to turn into Hemi buckets come playoff time. We know what Bam Adebayo is going to do.
They got scared.
Duncan Robinson is going to discover his shot. Tyler Hero might start playing team ball. You got Terry Rozier now. You got the kid from UCLA coming off.
Duncan's going to start
Kevin.
hitting.
You got Kevin. Y'all ain't slick, Miami. And you got probably the best coach in basketball. Y'all ain't slick. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Miami not slick. I'm not worried about Miami during the regular season. That's why I will take Bam Adebayo over DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton can get you buckets in the paint. Bam Adebayo can get you buckets in the paint. He can get you buckets in the mid-range, and he can stretch the floor. And he can pass. And he can rebound, and he can defend, and he can put on the free throw line. He's going to make his free throw. Give me Bam Adebayo.
So can Porzingis.
Give me Bam Adebayo over him, too.
Ooh, I'm fighting that one, brother.
Give me Bam Adebayo over him, too. I'll take
only because of the defense.
I'll take him over Kristaps Porzingis. All around, I'll take Bam over Kristaps Porzingis. I'm sorry. I think Bam Adebayo is he's not upper echelon center. Like first of all, Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid, upper echelon. There's only 2 centers that are upper echelon like that. That next second tier level, and we just gonna go off of guys who play centers, not whether they're actual centers or not, but just guys who play center. You start off with Anthony Davis, of course, right? Then you go to a Bam Adebayo. Then you go to that kid in Houston, Şengün, who's nice as fuck. Then you go to some Domantas Sabonis. Then you got to include Bam in that. DeAndre Ayton is not in that category with them. To me, DeAndre Ayton is in the category with the Jonas Valanciunas, the Yusuf Nurkic's of the world. That's the category.
It's not a bad place to be,
It's not a bad, but he's third tier to me. He's not second tier. He damn sure ain't first tier.
Hey, you know who would be first tier if he didn't ever get hurt?
Who?
Motherfucking Boogie. Because of the point.
Oh, yeah, he definitely
was the best center in the league. He better than Embiid. He better than everybody.
He'd definitely be top tier if he never got hurt. I'll get with that.
So, let's talk about LA's own Clippers.
I was just about to say I want to talk about the Clippers.
What's up with my boy Harden, man?
What do you mean? What's up with him?
What was that bullshit he pulled?
Oh, when he tried to block Kawhi Leonard's shot in that game against Portland.
And what was up with Kawhi when that nigga just left the game at like, who he just like?
Listen,
what's up with the Clippers, man? Do you think they got a chance to do anything?
No.
So you see a first round exit?
No, I don't see a first round exit. Whoa. Let me not say no so confidently.
I'm about to say,
let me not say that so confidently. Do I see a first round exit? I do not. Let me tell you something. If they fuck around and they draw New Orleans or Dallas in the first round, do not, especially Dallas. Because Dallas is a different team. Since they made their moves, they fixed what they lacked, which was interior presence, bigs. Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, that's helped them go to another level. On top of the fact that they got Luka and Kyrie, they look like they're finally starting to mesh. Dallas is a problem.
It could be.
I think if the Clippers run into Dallas,
it could be a problem only if Ingram is healthy.
Yeah, Ingram got to come back for New Orleans if they want to make any type of a run. Because as good as they've been without Ingram, they ain't going nowhere without Brandon Ingram. I'm sorry. I think if the Pelicans end up playing the Clippers and they do not have Brandon Ingram, the Clippers will beat them. I'm questioning if the Clippers will beat them if they get Brandon Ingram back healthy. I'm questioning if the Clippers can beat Dallas if they draw Dallas. Because you know Luka always gives the Clippers problems. Always gives the Clippers problems.
Yeah, but it's different.
Always
it's different now.
Gives
they got
the Clippers.
They got Norman Powell and Russ on the bench.
Who cares? Who cares?
And
who cares?
Somebody on Dallas got a guard.
Who cares?
Kawhi, Harden, and PG.
Let me tell you something.
Then they got a big.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
In the bubble, Luka by himself took the Clippers 6 games.
Doc Rivers not the coach.
The very next year, when Ty Lue was the coach, Luka by himself took the Clippers to 7 games.
They don't have James Harden.
By the same James Harden who always chokes in the playoffs? That James Harden? Him?
All right.
That's who you.
They didn't have Russ.
What has Russ done in the playoffs? That Russ?
All right.
I'm just saying. Luka by himself in 2021, when Ty Lue was the coach.
I'm not sold on Luka, man. I'm not sold on Luka.
You don't got to be sold on Luka. What I'm saying is
he's
now,
a bucket getter.
What I'm saying,
but you said out your own mouth, points does not make a great player.
Points don't make a great player. But what I'm saying right now is Luka's not by himself now. He got Kyrie Irving. He got those bigs. He still got Tim Hardaway Jr. Where the fuck is Dante Exum came from starting to knock down these threes? Like, when did Dante Exum develop a three-point shot? All of a
He's
sudden,
never been like a horrible player. He's been
no. I didn't say he was a horrible player. I said, when did he develop a three-point shot? All of a sudden, this dude
Deshaun Stevenson develop a three.
All of a sudden, this dude can't miss from 3. I'm saying, if the Clippers draw Dallas, that's going to be a problem for the Clippers. It's going to be a problem. I don't think the Clippers get past the second round. I'm saying it. I'm sorry. I don't think they get past the second round. They can't beat Minnesota. You think people think Denver got the Lakers number? Check Denver's record against the Clippers since Game 4 in the bubble. Check Denver's record against the Clippers. You talk about ownership. Denver owns the Clippers.
Yeah, they do.
If the Clippers and OKC played, I would take the Clippers. I don't think OKC's ready yet. They're a good team, but they're young. They're not ready yet. They remind me of last year's Sacramento teams. Good team, but young. They need to go to the playoffs and experience that and lose in the first round so they can understand what it really takes to win. That's my thing with OKC.
So let's talk about the top of the West. Do you think Minnesota is legit? Do you think OKC is legit?
To do what?
To make a run.
Minnesota, yes, but they won't. OKC, no, because they're too young. Look, I think Denver's the best team in the West. And I honestly think Denver.
Still?
Yes. And
I don't think they can beat OKC in a 7-game series.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can, and they will. Series probably won't even go past 5 games. Denver, to me, is still the best team in the West. I think Denver's only problem in the Western Conference is Phoenix. I think Denver will beat them in the 7-game series, but Phoenix, I don't know.
You think Denver will beat Minnesota too with a healthy cat?
I think Denver will beat Minnesota in the series. I think so.
All right, now what about the East? What do you see in the East? We already discussed the bottom. What do you see in the top? Is Boston the true killer uncut favorite, or they just got the best record?
Boston has the best record. They are going to be the favorites. Boston was the favorite last year. Boston was the favorite 2 years ago. And how did that play out for them?
So would they be the favorite still if Embiid didn't miss no time?
They will still be the favorites because they still be a better team than Philadelphia.
Is Cleveland a threat? Or are they just there?
They're just there. Cleveland is just there. New York is just there. Orlando. By the way, hey, y'all in my chat, y'all remember who I said the sleeper team in the East was?
Banchero.
I said it was Orlando, and now they, at worst, a top 5 team in the East. And they could very well finish number 2 in the East. They're that. Well, let me say number 3. I don't want to say number 2. Let me say number 3.
You think they're going to pass up Cleveland?
I think they can. Cleveland's been kind of struggling, and Donovan Mitchell
Mitch was out.
Yeah, but I think they could pass Cleveland.
I think Mitch being out exposed Garland and what's your boy that used to play on Indiana?
Caris LeVert.
Yeah, they got exposed.
And then Evan Mobley.
They got exposed because y'all is the same thing.
Yeah, then Evan
y'all
Mobley's
not better than
out.
D. Mitch.
No, they're not. And then Evan Mobley's been out, so I don't know about Cleveland. I don't believe in them.
I mean, hey, as long as D. Mitch is playing good, they got a chance.
Yeah, but Donovan Mitchell played good last year. Then
Who else showed up?
They only got one game against New York.
They got it. Yeah, they did. And guess what? You know why? Because
the rest
what's the kid with the fro?
Jared Allen.
They only got one big.
They got two bigs. Because they got Evan Mobley too.
Are you considering TT?
No, Evan Mobley is their other big. They start.
Oh, I'm about to say they got TT now.
Yeah, but they don't play.
I mean, they got
they're big.
They got Tristan Kardashian.
They start
TK.
They start Jared Allen and Evan Mobley when he's healthy. Both of them are 6'11" at least.
Now, I left somebody out for a reason. What is your thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks?
Doc Rivers is their coach. That's my thoughts on the Bucks.
You sound very
Doc Rivers is their coach.
You sound very JJ Redick-ish. Velvet,
it's a reason why
Gilbert-ish, a lot of people that used to play for him.
It's the reason why all these people are saying the same thing about Doc Rivers.
He won a championship, and Grant Hill got hurt.
So what?
And Grant Hill got hurt.
So what? First of all, we need to start living off that championship that he won in Boston. Doc Rivers, listen, and I've talked to this at work, in my chat. Everybody who I'm speaking Milwaukee Bucks about, we say the same thing about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers has done the least with the most talent. Let's go back here. Orlando.
Grant Hill got hurt.
Listen, let me welcome me here. We'll give him a pass in Orlando because Grant Hill wasn't there, even though he blew that 3-1 lead in 2003. That team had no business being up 3-1 on Detroit. Oh, all right. Then we go to the Clippers, right? 2013. Was it 2013? Was that Vinny Del Negro's last year? No,
12 or 13.
No, 12 and 13 was Vinny Del Negro. So let's go to 14. 2014. That was Doc's first year as Clippers coach, right? Was it 2014? Yeah, 2014, I believe, was Doc's first year as Clippers head coach. Yeah, it was. Because they beat the Warriors in the first round, and then they blew a 2-1 lead against Oklahoma City in the second round. So they're one blown lead. 2015. We know what he did in 2015. He blew that 3-1 lead against Houston in the second round. Let's go to 2016. 2016, I believe, was when they lost to Portland in the first round, where you blew a 2-0 lead. 2017, they lost to Utah in the first round, where I believe you blew a 2-1 lead. 2018, you didn't make the playoffs. 2019, you lost in the first round to the Warriors. And let's go to 2020 in the bubble. We know what happened in the bubble. You blew a 3-1 lead. Then you get fired, right?
So what? How much? Wait,
hold on.
Go ahead.
Then you go to Philly. 2021 against Philly. Was that the year that Philly blew a 3-2 lead in the second round against Atlanta, where Ben Simmons didn't show up and bitched up and didn't shoot a layup over Trae Young instead of passing it out, and we ain't seen Ben Simmons since? I think that was that year. That was 21. 2022, what did Philly do? I don't even remember what they did. They lost to Miami in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. Was that 22? Whatever year it was, I don't know. Last year, what did Philly do last year? Philly lost in the second round to Boston. Oh,
Miami.
Oh, no, it was Boston because you went home with a 3-2 lead and Jason Tatum went off on you in Game 6. Embiid and Harden didn't show up, and you ended up losing Game 7. Can I go back to 2012 when Doc Rivers was in Boston still and Boston went home with a 3-2 lead? It was so confident that they were going to finish off Miami. LeBron gave them 45 and 15. They blew a 3-2 lead that year. All right. Oh, then let me go back to 2009 when Boston was up 3-2 on Orlando and had Game 6.
No KG.
I don't give a damn. You was up 3-2. You should have finished them off. You had Game 7 on your own home court. You should have finished them off. Oh, wait a minute. Then there was the 2010 finals. If I'm not mistaken, I think
played
Boston,
the Lakers.
I don't care who they played.
They played motherfucking.
I don't care who they played. You was up 3-2, and you had a 13-point lead in Game 7. You lost. Now you done took over for a team that was 30-13 when they fired their coach. Granted, that record was misleading because Milwaukee was terrible defensively. They weren't great offensively. Since Doc Rivers has been there, they've been better defensively, maybe a touch better offensively, but they're 14-13. So let me do my math here. It took Adrian Griffin 43 games to lose 13 times. It's taken Doc Rivers 27 games to lose 13 times. So let me ask you a question again. What do I think of the Milwaukee Bucks? Doc Rivers is their coach. That's what I think of the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right, now this is. I'm not arguing.
Oh, and let me talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me also bring up the fact that, granted, it was against my squad, that you didn't blow not one, but 2 19-point leads in that game against the Lakers and lost.
All right. I'm not saying Doc, as the coach,
Amongst other
some
games that you've blown leads
but
against.
at what point are you going to give Chris Paul and Blake Griffin any of the blame for that?
You could blame the players if you want to, but there's a common denominator with all those teams, with Orlando, with Boston, with the Clippers, with Philly, and with now Milwaukee. There is a common denominator. Doc Rivers. Glenn Doc Rivers.
And you do know in 2012 they traded Paul Pierce and KG.
Who traded?
So,
who did?
The Celtics. They traded him to Brooklyn.
That was 2013, sir. You said 2012? Yeah, 2012. I thought you said yeah.
That's when Barclays opened.
Yeah, that's when Barclays opened. That's when they traded them over. And I believe that was when Doc went to that might have been the first year Doc went to the Clippers. Couldn't have been the first year. No, Doc's first year in LA
2013.
was 2013. The 2013-2014 season.
So I'm not making no excuses for him.
29, in the second
KG
round.
was hurt. He didn't really play. When he came back, he was minimized.
You got a 3-2 lead.
Orlando, Grant Hill wasn't there. But the Clippers.
The only team I give him a pass with is Orlando. That's the only team I give him a pass with. You had all that talent in Boston, and you only got one chip. You had all that talent with the Clippers and never saw a conference final.
Okay, the next year,
you had all that talent with Philly.
And the year after that, they ran into Mamba. And then what happened in 2011? The super team LeBron and them was formed. Like, it was done. Their window was closed after they lost us in
2012, you had a 3-2 lead in the East Finals.
They did.
And they lost. They would have beaten Oklahoma City in the finals in 2012. My opinion.
They would have.
But you lost. But you lost.
LeBron's
but
time.
You blew a 3-2 lead.
They did.
The thing is that he blew a lead in the series. Doc Rivers has the most blown leads in playoff history. Doc Rivers has the most Game 7 losses in playoff history. Doc Rivers. And you could blame the players if that was all with one team. If that was all with Orlando. If that was all with Boston. If that was all with the Clippers. If that was all with Philly. No. It was with all those teams. Everywhere he goes.
Hey, you know what?
So you could point at the player. You could point at Orlando not having Grant Hill. You could, and Tracy McGrady talking too soon. You could point at Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and all those guys with DeAndre Jordan, all those guys with the Clippers not doing their part. You could point at Embiid and Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons and all those guys not doing their part. I forget, was that 2019? No, was Brett Brown still the coach of Philly in 2019 when they lost that game to Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, they was, because Doc was still in the Clippers.
That was the team. Yeah, Doc was. That was the team that, in my opinion, Philly had Tobias, JJ Redick. I don't know if Tobias Harris was on that team, but you had all the talent in the world. You lost on a heartbreaking shot. I give that Philly team a pass. When Doc Rivers got there, I don't give no Philly team a pass. None.
You know what? As much as I want to take it for Doc,
which is why I'm not picking Milwaukee to do anything this year, because they have Doc Rivers. And Doc Rivers, listen, I'm gonna say something that you're probably not gonna like. You know how Stephen A says what Stephen A says about the Cowboys? Just wait.
Nah, I'm not. Hey, right now,
no.
Say whatever you want about it. We earned that. We earned the right to be talked about.
So the reason why I say that is because I feel that way about the Clippers, and I feel that way about Doc Rivers. Just wait.
All right.
Just wait.
I'm not gonna give Doc no passes no more.
Just wait.
Solely on the fact that what's the fuck? Avery Johnson had the best record in the league, and they lost in the first round, and he got fired.
Are you talking when you were with Dallas? Okay.
Coach of the year got fired. Mm-hmm. He got one other job, and that shit track followed him where he went, and he didn't get no other opportunity. So, like Gilbert said, he must got some skeletons on niggas' closet, because it ain't just about the lost leagues. He keep getting jobs, bro.
Yeah, why does this man keep getting jobs?
He keep getting jobs, bro.
Exactly. Why does this dude keep getting jobs, man? Like,
for real. Know. But before we get on niggas' heads, let's talk a little NFL. What is your thoughts on Russell Wilson going to the Steelers? Or you have no thoughts?
We actually talked about this last week.
All right.
No, I'll say it again. Because and I do have some different thoughts now because what happened literally after we talked about that.
Oh, the trade.
Yeah. Literally after we talked about that, the trade happened with Justin Fields going to Pittsburgh. I like what Pittsburgh has done as far as getting Patrick Queen on defense. I don't know how I feel about Russell Wilson because he had a good year last year in Denver.
Much better
year under Sean Payton. Better play caller. Mike Tomlin is going to get the most out of him. I believe that because Mike Tomlin is, I don't know how this dude keeps having winning seasons, but he does. No matter who's on the Steelers, this dude is going to finish 9-8 or 10-7. For that reason, I think Pittsburgh is going to be slightly better because Russell Wilson is better quarterback than what they've had with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett is not bad.
He's not bad, but Russell Wilson's better than
him.
Of
course.
I don't know how far I see Pittsburgh going, though, because they still not the best team in their division. They're still not the second best team in their division. And I could argue that they might not even be the third best team in their division. Cleveland is slightly better than them to me.
So what do you think of any of the other?
I think that's the toughest division in football.
It is.
It's by far the toughest division in football because all four of those teams are good. I just think the other three teams are better than the Steelers.
So what is your thoughts on NFL free agency period?
I mean, it died down, of course, like it should have. But the one thing I take away from free agency is that the Giants fucked up.
Yeah, they did.
The Giants
But guess what, though? I think a lot of teams, it's depending on the draft. My team being one of them, I don't know why.
Which is why somebody posed a question that I saw a while ago saying, should the NFL free agent period be after the draft like they do in basketball? And I think it should because teams can draft what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the draft is over, analyze, all right, we addressed this, that, and this.
Now
we still need to address this, that, and that. So now we can go after the free agent that addresses these things since we already addressed those things. That's what they do in the NBA, and it works. It works because you ain't going out there trying to sign somebody and then like, well, all right, let me wait till the draft and then draft the same person that does what this person does, you just sign. I think it should be the other way around.
Right.
Draft this because then you have these young guys that you can develop into what you want them to be. And then in the meantime, you can fill that problem by drafting somebody who's already there. That's what I think the NFL should do, but that's just me talking.
Now, quickly, since we both Dodger fans, what is your thoughts on Ohtani? I love the way our season has started, but what is your thoughts on him?
I'm going to say this to all y'all because I said this to my girl, and I actually got a bet with her on this. Last year, I used to call the Dodgers. Mind you, last year the Dodgers were a 100-win team. But
I've been a 100-win team.
But I've been a Dodger fan for a long time, a diehard Dodger fan for a long time. I know when the Dodgers have it, and I know when they don't. The Dodgers last year won 100 games, but they didn't have it. 2 years ago, when I thought the Dodgers had it, they lost in the divisional round to the Padres. 3 years ago,
we didn't have it or they gagged. Both times.
Well, both times they gagged. Don't get me wrong. They gagged last year and they gagged in 2022. 2021, they were just tired when they got to the NLCS. And, of course, y'all know 2020 we won.
You said we didn't gag against the Braves?
In 2021, no. The Dodgers were just a tired team, and the Braves were hot. I wasn't going to hold that. I'm not holding that against them.
All right, 2019.
2019, we gagged for real.
Yeah.
For real against
Did
Washington.
we gag or was we just tired against?
No, we gagged for real
against. After we went to all them innings, they was done after that.
We gagged for real against Washington in 2019. For real. That was a gag job against Washington.
Wait, what year was that where them niggas went to play till like 2 a.m?
That was 2018 against Boston in the World Series.
Did we gag then or we just lost to the better team?
Lost to the better team.
All right.
2018, we lost to the better team.
And they cheated.
No, well, yeah, but even without the cheating, Boston was better than us in 2018. 2017 was the year we got cheated flat out, and I still hate the Astros, and I'm going to forever hate the Astros for this. They cheated. But getting back to this year's Dodgers. The Dodgers, my nickname for them this year is cheat code. Because the Dodgers are a cheat code. I watched the last inning of Game 1 in Seoul in South Korea, and I watched the last maybe 3 innings of the second game in South Korea. I didn't really care about those. I wasn't really going to judge them off those 2 games because you're in a whole nother country. You 16 hours ahead. That was pretty much just for the fans of South Korea, so I wasn't really. Yeah. It was whatever. Like, we got out of there with split. What I did take from that is our offense is not fair because we went to the 8th inning. The first game, we went to the 8th inning down 2-1 and 4 runs just like that. The second game, the Padres jumped out 9-2. And before you know it, it's 9-8.
Crazy.
And then the Padres tacked on some runs. And then going to the 9th inning, it was 12-11. I'm like, this offense is relentless. We hold them scoreless in this top of the 9th. We win in the game in the bottom of the 9th, but they gave up 3 runs in the top of the 9th, end up losing 15-11. You're not going to lose too many games when you score 11 runs.
No.
So that's why I said that was an anomaly. These 2 games against the Cardinals, man, listen, the shit's not going to be fair. Now, the Dodgers, they already lost when they 3-1. They're not going to go undefeated, so we ain't finna talk like they finna go 162-0 because they already lost the game. But what I am going to say is that this team is early. It's only 4 games.
I'm about to say it's early. We win 100 games every year, bro.
Only 4 games into the season. This team is definitely going to win 100 games, but I think this team has it.
So when you say it, you think our pitching has got better, our hitting has got better, or overall?
Overall, the pitching is definitely better than it was last year. Because of course we got Ohtani. Now you have, Ohtani's not going to pitch till next year because he
hurt still?
No, he's not hurt, but he's not throwing this year. He's only going to hit this year. But even without Ohtani, that other Japanese kid that they signed, I think he's going to be good. He had a rough spring training, and he had a rough start in Korea, but I think he'll figure it out.
So Kershaw is closing or opening?
He's
our mid.
Kershaw is actually injured. When he comes back, he's still going to be a starter. He's not coming back until like August.
Wow.
Late July.
What the fuck wrong with him?
I think it's his shoulder or something like that. He had surgery in the offseason, but we already knew this, which is why the Dodgers signed all the pitching they signed. Tyler Glass now is an ace. That dude's an ace. Bobby Miller last night, man, that kid is ready. He is the reason why Walker Buehler might not be back next year, which, by the way, Walker Buehler might be back in a couple of weeks. So that's even going to strengthen our pitching staff because James Paxton is a good pitcher. He's just a little up there in age. Gavin Stone is a good pitcher. He's a little down there in age. So when Walker Buehler comes back, that's going to be a big addition. People got to remember, Dustin May is coming back early summer, June or July. That's another starter. Gosselin's not going to pitch this year. And then you got Kershaw. So the Dodgers starting pitching is deep. They have depth with the starting pitching compared to last year when they had Kershaw and maybe Urias and maybe Lance Lynn and then a bunch of rookies starting. We're not worried about that this year. So that is a relief. The bullpen is a strength. The bullpen is going to be good, except for Michael Grove. You fucking suck. But the bullpen is going to be good. Our offense is relentless. There's no breaks in the lineup. They're like, listen, Mookie Betts, if you had to pick an MVP candidate off of the first couple of games, it's Mookie Betts already. Shohei Ohtani is going to do him. Freddie Freeman is going to do him. Will Smith is the reason why they just gave him 10 years. Even though you don't give catchers 10 years, but Will Smith it's good. And what that move makes the Dodgers be able to do is that they have 3 catchers in a farm system. They could trade for more pitching.
Right.
So that's the benefit of that. Max Muncy, he going to give you his 30 home runs. That Teoscar Hernandez person who hit 2 home runs last night, steal of the summer for the Dodgers. Jason Hayward is going to be nice this year like he was last year. The only person really on offense who I'm worried about because I expect more from him and he doesn't do is Chris Taylor. Outside of that, I'm not really worried about the Dodger offense this year. As good as the offense was last year, I think it's going to be better last year. And the pitching is going to be better this year because the starting pitching wasn't good last year. It wasn't good at all. And against the Diamondbacks in that series last year, it just reared its ugly head and we got swept. So
now let's get on some motherfucking heads, bro. You want to go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
All right.
I actually do want to go. Actually, I'm gonna go after you, but mine is going to be a little off topic.
First, Jordan Poole. I was watching Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and they got in on him like, bro, you done basically pegged yourself as You in the Jamal Crawford, motherfucking hot wing lemon pepper, motherfucking zone. But do you see they put that boy back in the start lineup? You know what I mean? But it's like, how can you be averaging 16, my nigga, through 50-something games, and then you go to the bench and you averaging 25, my nigga? Like,
he's not.
What's wrong with you, bro? You making $100 million. If they paid me $100 million, nigga,
I think
damn.
the issue with Jordan Poole is, and I'm gonna let you finish. I think the issue with Jordan Poole is that he think he's better than what he really is. Because you played with Steph Curry, you played with Klay Thompson, and you started, we got third member of the Splash Brothers and this, that, and the other. You start feeling yourself too much.
I agree, but it's no structure in Washington.
None at all. He's not even best player on the team in Washington.
So, like I said this a long time ago. Jordan Poole is D'Lo light. They're the same players, just D'Lo is better as far as running plays.
D'Lo's a better all-around offensive player than Jordan Poole.
Same player though.
Nah, he better. D'Lo's better all around because D'Lo is.
Hey, if D'Lo went on the Lakers, he be doing some. He get his isolation on more.
Yeah, he would get his isolation on more, but D'Lo gets his teammates involved.
Get it together, nigga.
And he don't do. D'Lo don't do the hot dog plays that Jordan Poole do.
Bro, you made good for all the G League players. Like maybe one day you could potentially be the $100 million guy that didn't. You know what I mean? Like. You start off with a good story, bro. Then you got punched in the face. Then you shot that bullshit in the fucking preseason and thought you was Steph Curry, and you ain't been right since. It's like you got punched in the face and that nigga stole your soul. He ethered you, bro. Like, my nigga, I want to see you do good. You making a lot of money. And I wish I could get 10% of your fucking contract and I would go out there and play like my life depended on it every motherfucking day. No lies, no cap. Draymond, for as successful as you've become, you're not as good as you think you are. You're a defensive player, and at this point, you're older, so you're not as good as you used to be in your best times. So what I would behoove you to do, if you don't want to lose your job with Turner, which is going to be your post-NBA career, if you don't want niggas to stop fucking with your podcast as far as sponsorships, I don't suggest you do nothing else for the rest of your career. Nothing, my nigga, but go out there and play basketball. And go see your therapist. If Meta World Peace can get it together, they put the nigga on his meds and send him to his therapist, and he's been okay since. Yeah. You need to go talk to someone, bro. You need to go talk to someone, and you need to also stop being a bitch, my nigga, and run up on niggas that's gonna really try you. Because when Stewart ran up on you, you didn't want no smoke.
First of all, don't nobody run up on nobody, because none of y'all really want to fight. Like, just play basketball. That's what I'm going to say about that.
And before I go, press that like button, press that share button, press that subscribe button, tell a friend, bring a friend, come again, get in the comment section, and I pass the bar over to my boy Big and whoever head he going to get on.
Before we get out of here, I want to give a shout out to somebody. This is not sports related, but it's something that bothered me a little bit, laughed at it, whatever. The bro, big bro, Unc, whatever that they start calling Unc, Mr. I Ain't Fresh. Hey, shout out to you, man. Let me tell you what. I don't know if you've been on TikTok or IG and seen this. So this older cat, maybe in this, probably our age, whatever, was coming out of Whataburger. I don't know where at, but was coming out of Whataburger. And he had on a little blue and white striped polo, button-up, little collar shirt, polo shirt, with some creased Levi's jeans and some light blue New Balance 574s. Clean. In my opinion, fresh. Came out. And this young girl, Gen Z or Gen Alpha little girl, was like, told him he ain't fresh. And he was like, I ain't fresh. And she was like, nah, you ain't fresh. You got to take the L. Listen, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Fresh ain't always Balenciaga this, Gucci that, Louis Vuitton this, Christian Dior that. That's just names.
And you better have on some real shit, too, with that.
What he said. But that's just names that you put on a piece of clothing that make it cost more money. Just because you wearing something with those names on it, it don't make you fresh. That man, Unc, was clean, fresh. Now, he may not, shout out to my boy Paulo, because he said something that made sense. He may not have been fresh for today's fashion, because today's fashion, again, is flashy shit or something with an expensive
Today's fashion is
name on it.
androgynous.
You know what I mean? But to say he wasn't fresh was highly disrespectful.
Yeah, man.
Because that man was fresh. Polo shirt, Levi's jeans, creased up, New Balance 574s. Nothing he had on.
He could have on some New Balance. He could have on some Cortez. He could have on some Reebok Classics. He got on some Air Forces. We are men from a certain era. And what's fresh to us, like, guess what? I do us just like you do us, but we fit it into today's standards. I'm not never going to be wearing these tight-ass clothes or these fluorescent, all these colors, all this weirdo shit, all these holes. Like, this shit is like my nigga Melvin said. This shit is all a rerun. All you niggas wearing holes in y'all pants, that was called major damage. All you niggas wearing all these fucking colors, that was called cross colors. Y'all niggas ain't doing nothing new. The only difference is, instead of you wearing your big brother's pants, you're wearing your girl's pants.
At the end of the day, dude was fresh. He was fresh for his age. He was fresh for his era, where he came from, what the style was. And he salute to you, brother, for continuing to dress how you dress and not catering to the style of these young kids out here. This dude then went viral. He all over the place. I'm sure he getting money for that video. And LRG just blessed him with a bunch of clothes that got him looking fresh out here. So salute to you, Unc. You look fresh. Don't let these young kids, to anybody that's in our age bracket, don't let these young kids tell you what's fresh and what's not. Because what's fresh to them is what's in their era. In the era of today, while they in their 20s, that's what's fresh to them.
What I want to say,
we don't got to dress like that. We don't got to dress like that. So salute to you, Unc, and fuck that little bitch that said he wasn't fresh.
What I want to say,
hold on. She posted a video saying we mad and she don't give a fuck. We don't care if you don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, you was wrong. And you just mad because you being called on it. You was wrong. So, like you told Unc, just take your L. That's it.
All I want to say is, in the words of Eric Sermon, circa 2002, on DJ Quick's album, to all you young cats, you ain't fresh, you ain't fresh, you ain't fresh, you just a buster jigger. And with that, that's been the Big and Skip podcast.
We'd like to get up out of here.
Press that like button, press that share button, press that subscribe button, tell a friend, bring a friend, come again.
Till next time, Big Skip Podcast, we don't have it.
Yeah.